With the manufacturing skills gap in the U.S. growing, private companies are taking the initiative to rejuvenate the workforce. Allied Machine in Dover, Ohio is cultivating a locally skilled workforce through internship programs and a community initiative called Project Lead the Way.
The intern program came about out of frustration. What happened one day is I actually got a phone call from our HR department. They notified me that a candidate that we tried to recruit from another area turned us down. I'm sitting there wondering, what do I do next? And I don't want to call this miraculous, but there was actually a pamphlet on my desk that was talking about this program called Project Lead the Way. So I started looking at this and really just absorbed it. The thing that connected for me is if I can't get people to relocate to Dover, New Philadelphia, how could I grow my own talent? How could we invest in our community? These kids know our culture. They grew up here. What they didn't know is that there were actually opportunities in our community. I said, what if I talked to the schools and said, hey, would you guys be interested in this? Would you partner with us? How could we do this? And out of that birthed Project Lead the Way in Tuscarawas County.
Project Lead the Way has several different strands. We teach the engineering strand, so we have Introduction to Engineering, then we have Principles of Engineering, Digital Electronics, and then SIM. And they'll go through those 4 years. When we first started Project Lead the Way, one of the concerns was, we have a lot of bright kids at New Philadelphia, and nothing against being doctors and nurses and lawyers, but that was kind of the trend, because they had no idea what an engineer did. Since we started offering Project Lead the Way, I would say our number of students going to engineering has probably increased tenfold.
Having this kind of experience before even getting out of high school is something you can't really get in a classroom.
It's not just sitting in an office on a computer, it's a lot of hands-on. I've also learned that it's very important to work with people to get stuff done.
We've watched kids go from being afraid to fail to embracing failure and saying, here's what I'm going to do different next time.
One of the biggest things that it has taught me is it's never going to be always perfect every single time. So it's just taught me to keep trying and how to troubleshoot.
So then what we've seen kids do is say, I'm not afraid to go into engineering. I'm not afraid to take that calculus class or that physics class and struggle through it because I know ultimately it's going to be worth it. Some things that I would say about what's been a miracle, just to give people a perspective across the country to say, well, you don't understand, we couldn't do it here. Tuscarawas County has 100,000 people, but what I would tell you, in 11 years, we've raised over $1.9 million for this program in Tuscarawas County. What we did is we said, would you be willing to invest now for 5, 10 years from now, whenever you want to grow your business, and you have to decide, where am I going to grow it? Am I going to grow it in Tuscarawas County, or do I need to move someplace else because I don't have the talent? We do a community showcase where we bring all the kids from Tuscarawas County and we have them present their projects.
At the end of the year, they have to reverse engineer a project, and they have to kind of modify it and make it better.
When we were working on our showcase project, we just couldn't get it to work, but we just kept going at it. I remember the moment we finally got it to work and it was moving. It was so happy.
And to watch them that light bulb come on when they come up with a great idea, they go through the whole process, and then we'll usually try to print it on a 3D printer, which leads us to a big contest.
There's over 300 projects that get presented to the community. Parents, grandparents, Chamber of Commerce members come watch these kids present, and I tell them, come interview your next associate. Come find them at this community showcase. So the partnership that's there is really being done in a place that it should never be successful. If we can do it in Tuscarawas County, it can be done anywhere in the USA.